An online conspiracy claims Zhurong never lost contact. China shut it down on purpose after it found something on Mars meant to stay secret. Sounds absurd, but did you know? Some of Zhurong's last transmitted data still hasn't been released to date. Not technical. It's still being analyzed. Over 2 years. And it's not done. Space agency dodged, without a straight answer, saying Mars secrets will surface in time. What is in time? No conspiracies today. Just facts. What has Zhurong endured in 3 years? What did it see on Mars? Why is everyone watching closely? Back in July 2020 in Wenchang, Hainan, Long March 5th launched, carrying Tianwen-1 with Zhurong inside, bound for Mars, where it all began. China's first Mars trip, but we did it unlike others. Americans probed Mars stepwise. First an orbiter mapped terrain. Years later a lander tried to touch down. Success led to a rover. After decades of setbacks and countless failures, we finally learned Mars' temperament. China's first try tackled the Orbit Land Rover triple. One mission to loop Mars, descend, touch down, then drive around, doing everything at once. Right there, the international space community said we were crazy. Not mocking us, just thinking it was too risky. Mars is downright eerie. Humans have sent over 40 probes to Mars, and about half of them have failed. The Soviets fared worst, crashing over a dozen attempts without success. Even once. Japan also tried. Europe poured hundreds of billions of euros into a lander. At touchdown it blew apart, gone silently. Mars is a probe-eating monster. Anyone going there should still think twice. China not only went, it chose the toughest spot. Utopia Planitia. Sounds romantic. Utopia. Ideal state. Actually, it's pure hell. Rugged terrain, frequent dust storms, and day-night swings can reach from 20 degrees Celsius to minus. NASA studied it over 20 years, ran thousands of simulations, and concluded landing was too risky. Therefore not advised. We went where Americans wouldn't. On May 15, 2021, just after 1 a.m., Zhurong started its first plunge into Mars' atmosphere. The next 9 minutes were the most critical moment of the entire mission. Mars' air is just 1% of Earth's. Parachutes can't slow down enough, so retro rockets must brake hard. But we can't test it early. Earth can't mimic Mars' environment at all. You get one shot. Succeed or explode. There's no redo. Worse, signal lag. Mars is so far that a one-way message takes nearly 20 minutes. By the time Beijing mission control hears, descent started. Zhurong's fate is already decided. With no time to react, it would either land safely or it would already be a pile of scrap metal. During those 9 minutes, the ground team could do nothing but wait. Space insiders call this terrifying 9 minutes. That night, Beijing Aerospace City's hall was packed. Hundreds of engineers watched screens, barely daring to breathe. Many started the day the project was approved and stayed 10 years. Some joined as young guys. Now their hair is white after all those long days. 10 years blood and sweat rest on these 9 minutes. The hall is silent. You hear heartbeat. 1:18 a.m. Text flashed. The lander and rover touchdown in Mars' Utopia Planitia target zone. We did it right there. In that moment, no one cheered. Many just sobbed, faces covered, utterly speechless. Not excitement. I've held this breath in far too long. After landing, Zhurong didn't move immediately. It stayed put for a week, checking its surroundings. Then it slowly rolled down from the landing platform, its 6 wheels touching Martian soil for the first time. That photo went viral online. A crisp tire track on red sand. Beside it, the lander platform and a tiny 5-star red flag. China's footprints were finally on Mars. But the road ahead was even more difficult than the landing. Zhurong's design life was 90 Martian days, about 3 Earth months. Why so short? Mars is brutal. Engineers weren't sure, so 3 months alive counted as success for them. It ran 358 days, nearly quadrupling design life. In 358 days, Zhurong drove 1,921 meters, nearly 2 kilometers. Sounds short, but remember, on a planet 400 million kilometers away, It navigates entirely all alone by its own system. Rock ahead. Detour. Pit. Avoid. Dune. He must tread carefully each step. No one can save him now. Earth controllers can do little. A command takes 20 minutes to reach Mars. Another 20 for the reply. 40 minutes round trip. So Zhurong must operate on its own all the time. He kept walking and working as he went. First, here's what he found. Water beneath Mars. Not a guess. Hard evidence. Zhurong has a radar that can penetrate the surface to see what's below. It discovered a large amount of water ice hidden tens of meters deep beneath Utopia Planitia. What does this mean? Water suggests Mars migration may work. Drink it, grow crops, electrolyze oxygen, and split hydrogen for fuel. Water is vital for survival in space. Finding so much beneath Mars right now feels like hitting the jackpot for us. After the discovery, NASA revised its next Mars mission, shifting the landing site closer to the Zhurong Rover zone. What for? They're clearly after this water ice layer. Bluntly, they're copying our homework. Second finding. Mars may have once had ancient ocean. Zhurong took many photos of rocks that excited geologists. Some of the rocks' textures and structures could only have been formed by the long-term action of liquid water. What does this show? Billions of years ago, Mars was Earth-like, with rivers, lakes, oceans, maybe an atmosphere. Then something happened. Water vanished, air dispersed, leaving barren Mars. Was there life on Mars back then? No one knows. But one thing is certain. Mars had the conditions to support life at that time. Third finding is sensitive. Officials gave no details, only hints. Zhurong detected unusual signals in one area there. What anomaly? Officials said it doesn't fully match known natural formation laws. Sounds academic, but clear. Some data defy current theory. Those results still aren't published. They say they're still analyzing them in detail for now. No one knows for sure. Maybe it needs time to study. Or maybe, never mind. Don't guess. In May 2022, Mars entered its winter season, and a massive dust storm swept across Utopia Planitia. Dust buried Zhurong's solar panels, blocking sunlight, so it couldn't generate electricity at all. Following its programming, it automatically entered hibernation mode to wait for the Martian spring plan. Once the dust storm ends, Martian winds clear sand off the solar panels. Sunlight returns, so Zhurong can recharge, then power up again. They waited through 2023, then 2024. He still never woke up. The ground crew called him every day. Every day. Can you imagine? Beijing Aerospace City engineers power up equipment each morning from their consoles, sending signals toward Mars. Zhurong, wake up! Zhurong, can you hear me? Then we waited, month after month, over a year. Officials say dust was too thick for wind to clear, and Mars winter hits below -100, so the batteries may have frozen and already failed. So Zhurong likely won't ever wake up again now. Yet the agency never declared the mission over. It's hibernating, not lost or failed, meaning there's still hope it can wake again. Asked if they'd keep trying to wake them, they said, with even a sliver of hope, we won't quit. Are they just stubborn, or do they believe in miracles? I don't know, but Mars has seen miracles before. NASA's Opportunity rover faced this too. Sand buried its panels, contact died, and everyone thought it done. Months later, a gust blew off the sand, and he revived again. Then he worked for years more, all alone. Zhurong isn't done yet. If Mars sees a big wind, it could clear some sand, let sunlight reach the solar panels, and the rover may restart and wake up when conditions line up. Right now, the Zhurong Rover is sitting quietly on Utopia Planitia, covered in dust. It carries a chip engraved with the names of 12 million Chinese people. Back then, the space agency held an event to send ordinary people's names to Mars with the Zhurong Rover. Many joined for fun, expecting nothing. Now these 12 million are all, strictly, Martian residents today. Although it's just a name, it's something that is truly left on Mars. Zhurong may never wake again, but its mission is complete. Built for 90 days, It worked 358, captured needed images, ran tests, and made all key discoveries: subsurface ice, ancient seas, geology, all textbook grade. More importantly, he showed China can run Mars missions alone and succeed on first attempt. Built on generations' work, lessons from countless failures, plus a decade-long grind. Some say 6 billion was wasted, but that's wrong. It's the mission's total cost, split among 1.4 billion people, under 5 yuan. What did that 5 yuan buy? It made China the second country in the world to successfully operate a rover on Mars. This data will shape humanity for decades. If we move to Mars, Zhurong's findings are priceless references. He's no loser. He's a pioneer. One heartfelt thing: Zhurong is China's mythic fire god. Sending a Mars rover with his name. Feel the romance in that choice right there. In May 2022, Mars snuffed Huoshen's flame, but what he lit still burns on. Forever. One day, Chinese astronauts will set foot on Mars. And the first thing they do then should be to find the Zhurong rover and bring it home, to let it see what the path it forged back then has become.